A man in a black clip-on tie calmly hands a flight attendant a note. She slips it into her purse without reading it. He leans closer. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Outside, rain lashes the runway at Portland International Airport. Inside the cabin of Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, passengers sip bourbon and stare out the window, unaware they are sitting beside the only unsolved skyjacking in American history. When Florence Schaffner unfolds the paper, she doesn't scream. She reads, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I want $200,000 by 5 p.m. in cash, put in a knapsack. I want 2 front parachutes and 2 back parachutes. When we land, refuel the aircraft. No funny stuff or I'll do the job." The man beside her, mid-40s, dark suit, narrow black tie, polished loafers, doesn't look like a hijacker. Or your neighbor. He orders another bourbon and 7, and smiles. By the time the plane circles over Seattle, the FBI is scrambling. The money is assembled. Parachutes are located. Local police race across rain-soaked tarmac. But here's the question that would haunt investigators for decades. Why would a man ask for 4 parachutes? That detail changes everything, and we won't understand why until much later. Inside the cockpit, tension fractures the air. Pilots relay demands. Air traffic control stalls for time. On the ground, agents debate. Is he military, a thrill seeker, a trained skydiver, or someone far more calculated? When the plane finally lands, the exchange is eerily smooth. The cash, $200,000 in $20 bills, is delivered. So are the parachutes. Passengers are released. The hijacker stays. He tells the crew to take off again. Destination, Mexico City. But with strict conditions. Fly low, 10,000 feet. Slow. Flaps set at 15 degrees. Landing gear down. Cabin unpressurized. Specific. Technical. Confident. Whoever he is, he understands airplanes. And then, somewhere over the black wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, he opens the rear staircase of the Boeing 727. Rain slices through the cabin. Wind roars like an engine. At 8:13 p.m., the aircraft lurches. A pressure bump. A flicker on the instruments. And D.B. Cooper, though that wasn't even his real name, vanishes into the storm. No body, no parachute, no trace, just darkness. The next morning, search teams flood the forests of Washington. Helicopters comb the dense evergreens. FBI agents trek through mud, riverbanks, and ravines. They expect to find a corpse tangled in branches. They find nothing. Not a scrap of fabric, not a broken bone. So who was he? The name D.B. Cooper was a mistake, a reporter's error. The ticket had been purchased under Dan Cooper, but the wrong name stuck. And legends have a way of attaching themselves to errors. The FBI launches one of the largest manhunts in U.S. history. The case is given a code name, NORJAK, Northwest Hijacking. Hundreds of suspects emerge. A disgruntled veteran, a Boeing engineer, a career criminal with a grudge. Each seems plausible. Each falls apart under scrutiny. And then, investigators notice something unsettling. The parachute he chose, the one he jumped with, wasn't the best of the 4. In fact, it was older, inferior. He left behind a more advanced, steerable chute. Why? Was he inexperienced? Did he panic? Or did he know something the FBI didn't? Months turn into years. No ransom bills surface in circulation. No one confesses. The legend grows. In 1980, a boy digging along the banks of the Columbia River uncovers something half buried in sand. Bundles of decaying cash. Still wrapped in rubber bands. Serial numbers match the ransom money. It's the first real break in nearly a decade. But it only deepens the mystery. How did the money get there? The location doesn't line up cleanly with the FBI's projected flight path. Was it washed downstream, buried deliberately, lost during the jump? And if some of the money survived, why didn't more of it surface? The psychological puzzle becomes more fascinating than the crime itself. Cooper was calm, polite, never cruel. He reassured the flight attendants, didn't harm a single passenger. In the aftermath of Vietnam, political assassinations, and cultural unrest, America saw something strange in him. Not just a criminal, but a phantom anti-hero. A man who outwitted the system. But let's step back. Could he have survived? The jump conditions were brutal. Nighttime, November, pouring rain, 200-mile-per-hour winds, rough terrain below, dense forest and freezing rivers. Experts argue most skydivers would hesitate to attempt it even in daylight. And yet, no body, no gear, no confirmed death. So either he died in the wilderness and nature erased him, or he walked away with $200,000 in cash and disappeared into American folklore. Decades pass. New suspects surface. One of the most famous, Richard McCoy Jr., a Vietnam veteran who hijacked a plane in a nearly identical fashion months later. He was caught. The similarities were uncanny. But the FBI ruled him out. Fingerprints didn't match. Descriptions didn't align. Another suspect, Robert Rackstraw, a pilot with explosives training and a criminal record. Cryptic letters sent to media outlets seemed to contain coded messages pointing to him. Investigators chased the theory for years. Still, no definitive proof. And then there's the tie. The black clip-on left behind on the seat. For decades it sat in evidence storage. In the 2000s, forensic analysis revealed microscopic particles, rare metals used in aerospace manufacturing. Titanium, antimony. Particles consistent with someone who worked in high-tech or aircraft production in the 1960s. Was Cooper an engineer? Someone connected to Boeing in Seattle? If so, did colleagues unknowingly work beside the most elusive fugitive in American history? In 2016, after 45 years, the Federal Bureau of Investigation officially suspended active investigation. Not solved, just paused. The case remains open. Some believe he died that night, swallowed by the wilderness of Oregon or Washington. Others believe he survived, changed his name, and lived quietly, maybe even telling the story to no one. And here's the final haunting detail. Not a single ransom bill, aside from the river discovery, has ever been recovered in circulation. It's as if the money and the man evaporated. So picture it. A storm-torn sky, a lone silhouette stepping into darkness. No witnesses, no closure, just a briefcase, a parachute, and $200,000 fluttering into the void. Cooper. A desperate man gambling on survival? A skilled insider executing the perfect crime? Or a myth we helped create because we needed to believe someone could outsmart the system? Somewhere in the forests of the Pacific Northwest, the answer may still be buried. And if it is, it's been waiting since 1971.